Welcome back to another episode of Tree Stand Totals. I'm your host, Dave Bartoo, as a data consultant for EPA Sports and their daily hot sheets. This show and all the shows are about what I do with it. Now, the data they put out is for due diligence purposes, and everybody that works there, well, we all bet it a little bit differently. Myself, I lean on totals. Don't bet spreads, don't bet sides, no, nothing. Whether it is WNBA, NBA, men's college basketball, hockey, baseball, you name it. Just don't like the inconsistency with as aggressive as I want to be on my sports betting. So everything I talk about is totals. Now, if you have a comment, you got a question about what the model says for sides, ask it below on the YouTube or join up. EPA Sports at Patreon. So it's patreon.com/EPA Sports. Everything that's published is $1. That's it. Now, I know you're probably saying that seems pretty shitty compared to everybody else that charges $100 for 3 days for 7 picks. Well, what would you rather have? Every single thing modeled by people that are betting the modeling and all of the data that you get to choose from, or having somebody go, I think this is the best pick, and if you lose, I'll give you your money back. But how really effective is that for you? So our goal is not providing picks, it's providing information and data. This is a secondary part of it. Have had a lot of people say, Dave, what do you do with the numbers? Because I don't follow the charts all the time. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. Yesterday, the charts, EPA Hot Sheets went 10-4. I went 6-4. And you know why I went 6-4? Because I fucked around on the sides. I was gambling on my sports betting. Stupid. I was probably just trying to show off on the first episode. Totally got burned for it. Dave, stick to what you do, which is totals. Now, today in the WNBA, we got 4 games. 2 of them are underway right now, and I'm watching my ass get handed to me on the Liberty and Indiana. I was under on everything. These teams have vastly underperformed for 3 straight games. Looks like they're both ending that, at least in the first half today. Chicago and Washington, I was over on everything. Big variance there, and you have 2 pretty shitty teams going at it. So I like where the numbers were going. So I bet over in all those games, just for full disclosure. At this point, looking at the scores, I think I'm just looking for anything above 500 and survive the first 2 games today. Phoenix and Seattle. Now, one of the things when I see Phoenix on the road is first half team total. Love being over on them. 60% of their road game total points comes in the first half. So the model is at 87 for Phoenix. The line for Phoenix is 80.5. First quarter or first half is 43.5. Over. I'm over on all of those, and I like where the model is going with that. Seattle model's at 81.2. The current Vegas line on the board right now is 80.5. Super tight, but let me tell you something. If I'm going to be leaning one way or another on a WNBA home team in the first half, I'm leaning over. I'm leaning over on the total as well. So we got both teams. Strongest lean, in my opinion, is Phoenix over in the first half. I'm also betting team totals for Seattle over, and obviously both of them combined, I am over 81.5. The model is at 89.1. So I do like that variance there. And then for the game, it kind of extrapolates out to where it's supposed to be. Phoenix, 87 points. I bet over 80.5. Seattle is also at 80.5. But the EPA is at 81.2. It's okay to lay off of that one. I do like it because Seattle's been playing some tough teams. Phoenix is not so tough. So I am over across the board on Phoenix and Seattle. Atlanta and the Aces. Well, when I see the Aces, you know what's going to happen. Get there early if you're going to be over. Get there late if you want to be under. Now, the EPA on this one, throw this shit out. Okay? The EPA, the best moving average in the WNBA and the NBA, 3 games. That is the best moving average that we have been able to come up with. 2 is too few, 4 is too many. But with Vegas, what you have is 3 games ago, They played arguably, I don't even think it's arguably, they played like dog shit against the Liberty. I think they had 66 in the game. This is a team that's averaging 98 on the road, 98.2 on the road. So the EPA model, I know that it still has that game baked in there. So what did I just say? Lean over on home teams. The Vegas opened, the first half opened at 44.5. I'm over on that. Atlanta also opened at 40.5. I am over on Atlanta in the first half. 2 + 2 = 4. I'm over in the first half on all those teams as well. Historically on the weekends, ladies seem to play a little bit above average, at least from a scoring standpoint. Scoring is up 4.3 points on the weekends versus weekdays in the WNBA. So on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, if you're going to be on a side, if you're waffling back and forth, let me tell you something. Here's what I do. Home team total, home team first half total, over. First half, over, okay? On the weekends. Those are your leans, definitely on the weekends. So the model's there. I'm happy to lean on that a little bit harder. For the game, the Aces, the line is at 96.5. They're playing Atlanta, who's been playing like hammered shit lately. But Vegas is, they can be very nice and take their foot off the gas. Now, the last game didn't do it. Game before didn't do it. I think there was an element of embarrassment by laying that giant turd in, was it New York? So I think they've been beating the crap out of some teams because of that. So again, with the Aces, I'd lean over. Spread, I wouldn't touch anything with the Aces. Early in the season, they couldn't cover jack shit. They've been covering a lot lately, so you really don't know what you're going to get out of them. Atlanta, what do we know? We know that we're going to get a dog shit second half. That's kind of what we know lately. Still, they projected 85.02. The line on them today is 79.5. I like the over in the first half. In the second half, if they don't score over 44 in the first half, I think you'd be fine hedging under in the second half on them to maybe cash out or get out of that bet, because they typically score really poorly in the second half. We saw that, was it the last game? Was it against the Sparks, where they dropped a 7 spot, 11 spot, 4 spot, something. But that's WNBA. I mean, it is the biggest, WNBA totals biggest sweat in professional sports. I swear, they drive me nuts. So that's where I'm at today. A lot of overs. It's the weekend. The model's all over. I love being over on the weekends. I'm going to get pounded on my unders, though, with a Liberty in Indiana, and hoping that Chicago and Washington pull out the over today. Up next, 3 plays with Major League Baseball right around the corner. This is Dave Bartoo with Tree Stand Totals. Thank you for joining me.